If I look a little tan, we just got back from a family vacation. This was a once-in-a-lifetime Caribbean cruise. We took the whole family, the kids, the in-laws, and today I wanted to share with you, is it really worth it to book a luxury suite on a cruise ship? These types of vacations for most of us don't come around every day or even every year. So is it worth the extra money to splurge? Well, I'm going to give you all the answers, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm Rich Smith, and one of the money lessons you never learn in school is what's the difference between paying like the absolute cheapest price for a vacation. Maybe it's like the cheapest plane ticket you can find, the cheapest like cruise ship room you could find, and then maybe paying just a little bit more for an elevated experience. And in this case, we're talking about a cruise ship suite. Now, I'm going to show you the entire ship, so I want to dive right into it. But before we do that, please drop a like for this video. Okay, here we go. We have the family, like I said, wife and two kids, taking that Caribbean-style cruise. And guys, it was great. We're in the middle of the winter here in upstate New York. There's nothing but 30 degrees and snow. And as you can see, the family, here we are, wearing shorts. We got a little suntan, like I mentioned before. And that first day at the beach, the kids sacked out, literally eating French fries and chicken fingers. It was great. And I'm about to get to the cruise ship, but here's a picture of me, like I'm exhausted, red face. The kids are falling asleep in my arms. It was a great trip. So again, if you are watching this and you have a fun trip in mind, leave me a comment down below. I'll jump in there and we can talk back and forth. Okay, so here we go. The name of the ship was the Norwegian Dawn, and as soon as you walk on board, you are greeted with like an elevator bay, but then also to your left is going to be like the main foyer area. Now, most people are going to head for the elevator, but if you listen to the music playing and you head in, here's the view. This is going to be where like guest services are. This ship had a coffee bar, a band playing up front. I gotta say, from the other experiences that we've had on ships, this was probably the smallest like main area that I've been to. This is a bit of an older ship, so it's a bit like narrower, but as you can see, everything's really beautiful. I actually spent quite a bit of time like down here grabbing a coffee every single day. Yeah, so right there, like grab a double espresso, listen to some music, and it's just a nice place where the Wi-Fi was good and I could answer some emails. So let's take a look like if you were right in the middle of everything. Like I mentioned, music playing. It goes up like 3-4 stories, and they're going to make this like the central gathering point of any ship. Again, that first day when you walk on, wherever this is, head there and take a look. Now, as we mosey up these stairs, one of the places of the ship that I was most excited about was, you just saw it right there, the O'Sheehan's Bar and Grill. I think that's what it's called anyway. Well, that was a level where it seemed like it was a bar and a place where you get some food that was open 24/7. I definitely went there right away to check out the menu, and it wasn't exactly what I thought it would be, but it was still pretty good, a go-to spot if you were hungry. Now, moving along, one of the things, if you haven't been on a ship before, is they always have these diagrams like you can see here. It shows you where the front of the ship is. So, if you're ever confused, like, am I walking backwards? Am I walking like to the front? You can always kind of check this out. Now, moving along, if we head down these stairs, you can see that they have a main dining room. And I just saw a TikTok video where someone was like, I was surprised that a sit-down meal in the main dining rooms were included. And these are like really beautiful, like looking rooms with, like a very formal type dinner you could have. We're talking, 3, 4, 5 courses, sit down, waiter service. It's pretty nice, and yes, it is included. Now, of course, there are specialty restaurants, so just keep that in mind. Those always have an upcharge. Now, here on this ship, this is be like the club area, like the lounge area, if you will, maybe like the dance club at night. We'll poke our head in. You can kind of take a look. I think they were doing something like a bingo, like as I was in there. They had karaoke the first night, and it's a place where you can grab a drink and sit down. If nothing's going on, you can just sort of chill there. I'm used to it being like in the front of the ship, like kind of watching the world fade away. This one was in the front, but like there was no windows. So anyway, let's hop on onto the elevator. Kind of had this rule with elevators. How you doing? Take the stairs if it's 2 flights, but just you know, if it's 3 flights or more and you're going up and down, then, you know, just take the elevator. Here we have the spa/fitness center. We really try to be healthy as much as you can on a cruise and exercise and work out. We don't typically use the spa, you know, for things like massages. So as you can see, it has everything you need, but it kind of seems like it was an afterthought. What I mean by that is if you look around, like a majority of the space, honestly, are these like exercise rooms, and they're not for you. They're for like private classes. If no one's using them, you can go inside and stretch, but on the other side, there's gonna be one with like spin bikes. And these windows are what I'm used to and maybe what most people would be used to, so that you can like work out and like watch the world, you know, like fade away behind you. You'll notice these are really the only windows where you're working out. So I guess that's a little bit of a con. If we head outside, you can see that there was this kids club area. And I gotta say, this is my first time taking a cruise with the kids. And we spent a lot of time at this T-Rex pool. If I could show you around, it is enclosed, so like the little kids can't run out. There's a little area where you can get changed, a little bathroom, and then kind of as you go into the area, it's you know, it's okay. They've got dinosaur slides, a little place to shower, and a very small little deck for like the parents to watch the kids. However, it really is like so cute that you could, you could spend hours there just watching them go down the water slides. Like I mentioned before with the workout center, it does seem a little bit like an afterthought, you know, just kind of tucked away back here. I'm used to there being like, again, like a bar and restaurant at the end. And, you know, here you got these like sculptures, you got maybe like 10 lounge chairs. So it could get pretty crowded on a sea day if you're traveling with lots of families or lots of kids. Now, there was an arcade right off the kids' pool. And I'm going to point out there's these games that were highlighted with like a green light. And you could play them unlimited so long as you paid for like a package. And I pointed it out, there were some other games with like a yellow light, and those gave tickets and you could win prizes. So we actually spent a little bit of like downtime in here playing air hockey, playing like Jurassic Park, like the shooting games. It's kind of like a fun way to kill a couple hours. Now the kids club is right off the arcade. It's closed right now, but one thing I will say is there is things for, you know, basically 3 and up kids to do, elementary school, and they even have like a teenager kids club. So parents can drop them off, and if the kids are hanging out there, it's good. Now, if we head right back downstairs, you're gonna see that lounge or club again. And let's make our way all the way through the ship. They have like a wine cellar or a wine like room on every single cruise I've ever been on. Of course, that's to get you to buy a bottle of wine, which is, you know, marked up. I think the cheapest bottle of wine was maybe $40, $50, $60. Now, as you make your way forward, you're going to notice that there's all these little cool like restaurants, which these ones were included, which is really cool. Like a hibachi thing was included on this ship. And then as you go downstairs, there was like a specialty restaurant you're going to see to the left. There was a like cocktail kind of speakeasy style bar right here, and there was always music playing. This was definitely a cool place to grab something to drink if you were waiting for dinner. Now, as we move along, here is a theater. There's always performances. Sometimes they're just a comedian. Let's see, yeah. So shout out to this guy here, Eric Clark. He was pretty funny. You know, maybe give him a follow on Instagram. I'm going to try to get some footage in a second of the theater. They don't allow you to really take footage, but I'm going to try to like get in there and at least show you what like a show looks like. Okay, so here we go, but you got to be quiet. They said, you know, no photography, but you know, as you can see, like pretty nice little theater, and the performances change. Okay, now we finally get to the suite room. They literally have a doorbell you can ring. But if you didn't know it was a suite, you'd probably like pass right by it. Yes, it's labeled, but kind of looks like just any other door. I'll get into costs and everything, but let's take a look at the room. This was not planned, so we didn't like clean up. I think my one son was actually napping right here, so I'll show you that in a second. But if you take a look, you actually get like a little sitting room. They drop off like hors d'oeuvres daily. They got a little coffee maker, for example. And there is a balcony, and it's actually a really, really nice room, especially for a family. They called this like the 1-bedroom family suite. So let's take a look at the balcony, and then I'll show you like the bedroom for the kids. All right, so as you can see, the balcony here, it's very nice. There's been times where we don't have a balcony. Most times we actually haven't. This one came with one. As you can see, great place to sit outside. And if you turn around, you got that sitting room, and then let's take a look at like where the parents would stay. They have their own little bedroom. Yes, there is a door. I didn't show it. It's like almost like a folding sliding door. There's a curtain too to make it darker. This is probably the highlight of the suite. You're gonna have like a bathroom area with a shower, a toilet, double vanity, a bathtub overlooking like the ocean. I mean, if you want to take a better look, as you can see here, the toilet's the toilet. You know, nothing fancy, nothing special there. But this bathtub, we have kids that still take baths. They're actually kind of afraid of the shower at this age, and so you're coming in from the beach. It might be a little sandy or have suntan lotion on. The bath actually came in handy. The shower is really cool. It does overlook the water as well. Like any cruise ship, it's going to be a little tight in there, but this had cool shower heads that could blast you every which way. It was definitely one of the highlights of this type of room. Now, if we make our way over to the area that would be considered like the kids' bedroom, they are going to have everything from their own bathroom. See if we can turn the lights on here. And it's a really good size. And I think my little guy, he's napping right now. But when I say good size, they have everything they need and a little bit of privacy if they need to close the door. This could work for teens. This honestly could even work with like a younger couple if they needed just their own space and you guys were like sharing the room. Now my little guy was napping, so I think he did wake up. So let's take a look at this room just a little bit closer. He's gonna be pretty sleepy, but so he's giving us a wave, hey little guy, and then we got a TV. You've got actually a bunk bed that folds down. We never used it because this pull-out couch was actually large enough where you could, actually have it out and then have like two kids sleeping there. Now that he's awake, I guess I could show you like the size of the shower, and again, this could really work, especially if you're not staying in the room very long. And now I mentioned before we had the adjoining room, so let's go take a look at that. This would be quote unquote like a regular cruise ship room, but really it's a very nice room. It has its own balcony. It has a little sitting area. The bathroom was interesting because normally they're like very small, but this one was a little bit more separated. As you can see, kind of like a little bit of like a throne room with a door. There was another bathtub, which I thought was interesting, probably because it's connected to the suite that we got. And then a sitting area, and my in-laws were there. They really liked it. So there you have it, the Norwegian Dawn. We just got back from that trip, and I would say that a cruise ship suite could be worth it if you crunch the numbers and you have a reason, like you're traveling with a family, traveling with young kids, and you're okay with splurging a little bit. For example, the in-laws room was right around that $3,000 mark, and I think that's very, very comparable for what you can find for like a 7-night cruise. It did include things like some drink packages, some Wi-Fi, for example. It did not include things like prepaid gratuities, so that was an extra. I think it was something like $20 to $25 a day. For our room, same thing. Room service, for example, was included. They called it like butler service, but really anyone can get room service. It's just yours is included in the price of the room. I would say, just to like be completely transparent with you, that the cost of a small suite like the one you saw, because there's ones with like baby grand pianos in them, the cost of something like that is probably 3 times as much as just getting a regular room. And so you really got to crunch those numbers. If the kids were a little bit older, I've heard of parents just booking 2 adjoining rooms, and you could probably save yourself in the neighborhood of right around $3,000. However, you are going to have to, I think, put 1 adult in each room, at least when you're getting the tickets, because they don't allow, kids to stay in a room by themselves. I know there's workarounds for that, and you might have your own story where it was fine, but from all our research, it has to be somebody who is, 21 or older. So final thoughts, is it worth it for a cruise ship suite? I think the answer is yes, conditionally, if you get a good deal, if you're celebrating. In fact, one thing I'll mention is they have this like auction bidding process the week before the cruise, and there was some like insane room with like it seemed like a quarter of the ship that you could bid on. We did not get it. I threw my my hat in the ring, but it was not going to work out unless I think you were willing to pay like $5,000 per person. So, I mean, at that point, why not just bring all your friends and family on a cruise, right? Anyway, check out my website. It is full of travel hacks, fun little tips about life and business. And also leave me a comment down below about a trip you took, especially if it was more of a VIP experience. Let me know if you thought it was worth it. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.